Hello everyone, it's Roxy, and today we're gonna talk about how to red pill, orange pill your friend, how to talk about Bitcoin in society. It's a weird video simply because if you're already into Bitcoin, you know how easy it is to talk for hours with other Bitcoiners. However, when you need to explain Bitcoin to beginners or no coiner, it can get tricky. And get tricky because they don't have the same understanding as we do of the technology, the finance, the effect of fiat, etc., etc. So on this video, I'm gonna try to give you some small advice and piece of reflection on how to red pill someone. The most important thing is always to know who you are talking to. So if you know your audience, you can choose one of different paths. And those paths are usually divided into three: the tech, the liberty, the finance. If you're talking with someone that needs to save his money from inflation, if you're talking with someone that is afraid of the money printing, if you are with someone that understands that Bitcoin can be a good hedge or a good investment or saving technology, then you can talk about the 21 million. And you hammer down on that one. You just say, hey, there's 21 million, we're 7 billion. You can explain why no one can change the code. That's going to be the video for the next week episode. You can explain to them how it was decided, like how does the protocol work, how the money is created. You can explain how you can use Bitcoin, etc. So by going to the saving technology aspect, you can easily red pill them and explain to them why a 1 to 5% allocation of the capital is not something completely crazy. And you can easily do that by just explaining how the money printing works. If you explain them that the fiat system is rigged, if you explain them that they can literally at will with one button print as much money as they want, people are gonna start listening. And they're gonna understand that an independent monetary system has some value. And then you can just say how, for example, Ray Dalio is allocating money into Bitcoin, Paul Tudor Jones, Tesla, etc. And if you give those big names, those big examples, usually people start listening more. And this is how you can easily get 90% of the population. You talk about gold, fiat, and money. You explain to them the purpose of money, and you don't talk about blockchain, you don't talk very briefly about mining, you don't talk about the climate, you don't talk about wallet. You just say, hey, Bitcoin is sound money, exactly like gold. You like gold? Well, you should get some Bitcoin, you know? It could be useful. This is the easiest one, and it's most of the people, because honestly, everyone is afraid to lose their money, and I understand why. With 10% inflation, like, I mean, everyone is going to lose everything. So talking about Bitcoin helps. The other aspect of Bitcoin is freedom. And here you can easily come and explain to them that Bitcoin has no intermediary. Bitcoin is decentralized. And because you explain that you can simply have a node in your room and that everyone is using Bitcoin in an open fashion, you can explain to them that no judge, no king, no ruler can rule over Bitcoin. And this is really powerful, and you can give some example. You explain that Bitcoin is therefore going to be useful for like the 2 billion people without bank account. You can explain that Bitcoin was useful for the truckers when they needed to raise funds to fight for the freedom. You can explain how Ukraine are raising money to buy weapons with Bitcoin legally. All of that aspect of anti-censor, explaining that, for example, Snowden, when they froze their his bank account, had to use Bitcoin to pay for WikiLeaks. All of those examples show the strength of Bitcoin, and it gives them an idea of, all right, it's not only speculative, it's really about changing the power dynamic between the rich and the powerful and the people. No, with Bitcoin, the people have power. And that's impressive. So if you know that you are talking with someone which is from the left, someone that doesn't care about money, someone that honestly don't want to save, someone that has never invested, don't bother with the 21 million. He's going to believe that you are trying to sell him Bitcoin, the investment. But in reality, if you are a true Bitcoiner, you want Bitcoin for the freedom. So by explaining that people are using Bitcoin for different purposes than simply speculating, always make an impact. Explain to him how when it is an hyperinflation, people can take their money into Bitcoin and leave the country. Explain how you can bypass the law and regulation of corrupt dictatorship. All of those examples help show that Bitcoin has a purpose beyond its monetary value. And this is truly incredible. The last aspect is more the technical aspect. I would personally avoid talking about it to beginners because they don't need to know really how it works. I mean, do you know how internet works? Well, I mean, you're a Bitcoiner, so probably. But honestly, very few people know. We don't care. We just want it to work. We want to press a button and it works. So starting to explain the tech can be tricky. You can lose them. And at the end of the day, it's not going to convince them because they're going to have so many questions and misunderstand. If you want to talk tech, explain what a node is and explain how to use it. Literally show them a wallet on your phone. You pick up your phone and you have a wallet and you say, hey, you see, that's my wallet. And I press send, it's send, and I press receive, it's receive. That easy. No ID, nothing, just a simple Bitcoin wallet. But not going too in depth on the tech and explaining more like why it works and how it works, you can easily convince someone that, hey, you know what? It's actually interesting. Anyway, red pilling someone, it's never easy, but it can be done. I have red pilled thousands and thousands of people. So trust me on that, it can be achieved. Don't worry, don't lose hope. And the last thing I would like to say is that you cannot convince everyone and you shouldn't try. Some people just don't want to open their eyes. Some people don't want to be convinced. Some people don't want to try to learn, don't try to just feel the technology. For them, it's just going to be a Ponzi and they're happy with their dollar, they are happy with their banking privilege and their good money. It's okay. We're not going to convince everyone. Just try to convince the people that need it the most. And when those dudes that don't get it will need the Bitcoin because, well, inflation is here and it's going to stay, they will understand. They will use the technology. They will listen to you once they're ready. So don't push too much on them. It could do the opposite effect. When you try to convince people too much, they just block themselves off of the conversation and they believe that you are just in your own little sect and that you are just trying to push your investment product, which again, you are not if you're a Bitcoiner. Anyway, this is it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for my Patreon. Thank you for everyone that helped support the project. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Put a commentary if you have a question. I would gladly answer it. And I will see you around next week. Follow me on Twitter. It's Bitcoin Studies. It's a new English channel, so always help to get started on that one. Anyway, I will see you next week. Bye bye. Thank you so much for watching. Feel free to follow me on the social media, and if you want to support my work so I can keep producing formation, video tutorials, games in French, English, and Spanish for free, you can do so with the e-commerce, Bitcoin or Lightning donation, or directly through a Patreon for fiat. Thank you, and I will see you around. Bye bye.